some of the challenges of being, from a printer's perspective, of being on the cutting edge of technology. And anybody who's doing this knows it's extremely painful to buy technology that isn't really market proven, and you have to develop the workflows and you have to get things up and running, and then by the time you do that, you have to take it all down and put new stuff in. But that's just the name of the game that we're in. So some of the challenges that I think are worth mentioning from a technology purchasing perspective, you have to match the presses you're buying with the output to the finishing. None of them ever match. I think everybody wants to have a nice green button approach where you walk into work with your cup of coffee, you hit the big green button, files go in one end, books come out the other end, you have no labor, you walk home and everybody makes money. I mean, everybody would love that, but nothing works like that. So you have to plan for now, and then like I said before, you have to plan for those future upgrades because things get faster, wider, and better. So. Same thing with the workflows. You develop a workflow today that can handle so many gigabytes a minute, and then you get into it and you realize that now you're doing 10 times as many. So you need to develop the workflows that are flexible enough to move. Managing peaks and valleys with other vertical markets. I think anybody in the business, when you put the press in and you realize I'm really good for 3 or 4 months a year, now what do I do with the rest of the time? So you have to go out and find more business that doesn't necessarily get into the other peak volume periods. Managing the technology vendor myths, and I always point this out when I talk to my vendors. I say you oversell it as being too easy. It's not that easy, so things aren't necessarily just point and click. I think they oversell, they say it's seamlessly integrated with other technology, and everybody's really nice to say that, but then as soon as something goes down, you see they start pointing fingers the other way. So I always tell them you need to really start using your thumbs, and you need to look at yourselves too. So managing technology vendor myths, deciphering the publisher's semantics. Every publisher will swear to you that you're going to get print-ready files. And any printer in the world knows that their definition of print-ready files and my definition are completely different. But of course, my definition and your definition are probably completely different, so it's not necessarily your fault. But nonetheless, it's a challenge that we have to face. Managing the speed of change. When do you buy the equipment? What do you buy? How does it fit into your workflow? How are you going to develop the workforce skills to do that? And more importantly, as the technology is advancing, how do you help your customers understand what their market challenges are and get to know them a little bit better?